So a quick update to this video that was about to be uploaded really early. Sources by Ian Rappaport say Pound Titans wide receiver Deandre Hopkins is being traded to the Pound Chiefs in exchange for a 5th rounder that can get to a 4th rounder. Deal is being finalized. I bring this up because we talk about DeAndre Hopkins in this video because DeAndre Hopkins was a name connected to the Eagles. Why? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me that the Eagles would go after him. Never made any sense. Matter of fact, I took all references to his name out of this video, so if I missed something in the edit, I apologize. But with that said, I'm traveling. I'm going out of town for the morning, so I wanted to drop this early video. Hopefully, I'll be back in time to go on the Dan Sileo show later today. With that said, let's start this mother humping video. The Eagles will definitely be looking to build on this win that they just had versus the Giants. And Howie Roseman will be looking to acquire talent before the trade deadline. But who? Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, kick Dingbat here, and the Eagles are sitting at 4-2, and there is no doubt in my mind that this team is going to be buyers at the trade deadline. And why not? They had the best win of the season versus the New York Giants, and in my opinion, they found their identity on offense if they choose to go that path, which we probably know they won't, and they'll be back to throwing the ball 40 times a game next week. But I love what they did in that Giants game, and I hope that they can build upon it. The question is going to be this. As the Eagles continue to go week to week, get better and better, what is Howie Roseman going to do? How is he going to improve this team, and where is he going to look? Surprisingly, the Eagles are linked to safeties, to wide receivers, and is that really what Howie Roseman wants to do? Is that really where he is going to look? That is going to be the question. Now, we should take a look at this real quick. Jordan Schultz, shout out to him, my man. He said this: the Pound Eagles are releasing wide receiver Parris Campbell, sources say. Campbell had 6 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown in 4 games with Philly. Will the Eagles bring him back to the practice squad? John Ross is now on the injury list when it comes to practice squad guys. Will they bring Parris Campbell back on the practice squad if he clears waivers? We'll have to see. Zach Berman says Ainias Smith is closing in on a return. Albert O practiced last week too. So the assumption is that the Eagles are going to be bringing up Ainias Smith. Now, Ainias Smith was very disappointing in preseason. Looked like he wasn't ready for the NFL. He looked like, actually, to be honest with you, he looked like a deer in headlights playing on that stage. I do think he has talent. I do think he could be good, and I think it's going to take time for him to develop. The release of Parris Campbell, is it to bring him up, or could some of these rumors actually possibly even be true just a little bit? That's what we have to ask ourselves. That's what we have to wonder. Now, you may be saying, well, what are we talking about? You got wide receivers who are being linked to the Eagles at pretty much every possible turn so far. Then you have this one. Breaking. The Pound Rams are open to trading all-pro receiver Cooper Kupp, New York Times first reports. Multiple teams have recently made calls regarding Kupp. He has been connected to the Pound Chiefs, the Pound Steelers, and the Pound Eagles. LA seems open to taking on salary to facilitate the trade. So, once again, you have the Eagles connected to a wide receiver. Now, I really don't understand this. I talked about this yesterday on my live stream, but I wanted to talk about this again to those that didn't get to see the live stream. You know, I don't see how the Eagles would go out and sign or trade for another wide receiver. They don't use their 3rd wide receiver already. Now, you want to say that Howie Roseman got fleeced in that trade for Jahan Dotson, where he gave up a 3rd-round pick and we've gotten no production? Maybe, maybe this could be one of the few trades that we've actually seen where Howie Roseman didn't get the better of. It does not happen often, and if it did there, possibly. Or the Eagles just don't know how to use them, or Jalen Hurts just doesn't know how to look to that third wide receiver. But they don't get any production there. So you mean to tell me a team that doesn't use a third wide receiver is going to go out and bring in Cooper Kupp? For who? For what? For who? For what? For Mark Holmes? For you know what? A Mark Holmes eating fest on his dreams? What? I mean, what would be the reasoning? Is Jahan Dotson? Are we saying Jahan Dotson's that bad? And he's just bad, and that's why he doesn't produce? And if you bring Cooper, I mean, listen, the idea of, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and then Cooper Kupp is, I mean, yeah, your jaw hits the floor. Damn, how do you stop that? Unbelievable. But will they use them? I don't think they would. I don't think they would at all. I swear, I think Cooper Kupp lands in Kansas City. That makes the most sense to me. And he'll put up huge numbers if he could stay healthy in Kansas City. I just don't see the Eagles going out and get wide receiver. And let me tell you, it's not just a wide receiver the Eagles have been connected to. Buda Baker is another one that the Eagles' name keeps coming up with. So receivers and safeties all over the place the Eagles are being connected with. Yet, I don't think that either of those positions really would help the Eagles as much as people think they would. I don't think so. I mean, I think from the safety standpoint, I think the Eagles are fine. I think they're good with what they got. You should stick with it. What the Eagles need, and where the Eagles would really help themselves out as, is a pass rusher. They need an edge rusher. They need another pass rusher. You need a premier pass rusher. And listen, if Myles Garrett becomes available, Myles Garrett, you have to go and get. You have to do it. I'm sorry. Breaking. Multiple Pound NFL teams have made trade inquiries for the Pound Browns all-pro pass rusher, Myles Garrett. This could be getting interesting. And it first was reported by Sports Illustrated. Now, do I really think that the Eagles will go out and trade for Myles Garrett? Probably not. I don't think so. I would assume the hiccup would be that the Browns want too much. They're going to have a lot of suitors for, if they decide Myles Garrett is something, we want to ship him off, his age, we're going to have to kind of start over, we need draft picks. They're going to ask for a ton, and they're going to have a ton of teams that want to go get him. Primarily the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Lions are seeking another pass rusher now that Aiden Hutchinson is gone. And really, arguably, the Lions right now, you have to look at them as the best team in the NFC. So the Lions are definitely going to go out and pursue him. I think the Eagles would. You can't tell me Howie Roseman is not going to call up the Browns and try to go and see if he could get him. I just don't think the Browns would give him cheap. I think it's going to cost you maybe, 2 first-round picks? It's going to cost you a lot to get Myles Garrett. Do the Eagles really want to take a guy who's about to be 29 and trade 2 first-round picks for him? There's no way Howie Roseman's going to do it. Now, if you could get Myles Garrett for like a second and a fourth, a second, maybe 2 seconds this year, a second next year, or a second and the Jets draft pick that you got for Hassan Reddick, something like that, yeah, then maybe there's an opportunity there and Howie would do it. But I think Myles Garrett, he would command a lot. However, do I think the Eagles will make a play for Myles Garrett? I do. I actually do. If he becomes available, and what we're hearing, we're not hearing whether the Browns are doing it. We just know they're fielding a lot of calls about him. But if he at all becomes available, the Eagles should jump on that like so quick, like Mark Holmes jumping on a sandwich put out during his live streams. Jump on that thing, chew that thing up. If it falls on the floor, pick it up and eat it like Mark Holmes would. Like don't waste time. Do that. No doubt about it. But what is Myles Garrett going to cost you? That's going to be the question. Max Crosby is another one. Will the Raiders actually trade him? The Eagles need to go out and find themselves a pass rusher if they can. And if they can't, well, then you just have to hope that these guys like Huff and Nolan Smith continue to get better and better. We've seen good things from them the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, they're against really bad teams. But hopefully that's a step in the right direction. Maybe Huff getting his first sack out of the way, maybe he'll feel a lot better. I don't know. But to me, Myles Garrett should be the Eagles' #1 target. Like I said, I don't know realistically if they would be able to give up what the Browns want, but he should be their first target. If you go after somebody, if you're going to go after anybody, Myles Garrett, go full speed, try to get him. If the Eagles can get him, and if they did get him, and if he did somehow come to the Eagles, to me, I think it changes everything on defense. I think it changes everything. And I actually think that this defense is getting better week to week. I actually like the way that they're playing right now. I think that they're only going to get better as the season goes on. And, what we got to see now with the Eagles is, do the Eagles look at their team? Do they look at this Giants game and what happened with them using Barkley? Do they say, boom, we found our identity. We are going to run the ball. We are going to wear teams out. We are going to use play action, and we are going to beat teams that way. Do the Eagles look at it like that, or do they go back to passing 40 times a game? Because to me, you have the formula on offense to win a lot of games. You just got to keep doing what you're going to do. And look, you're not every week you're going to pass only 14 times. You're still going to have a passing game. I'm not saying you have to go 60-40 run to pass ratio, but I think you need to come out and instead of trying to throw downfield all day long, come out, run the ball. Come out, establish the run early, and let it open up the pass. I don't think teams can handle the Eagles when they run the ball. And if you know that works, and if you know that's going to win you games, then why not do it? And if you do that, I mean, the way the Eagles played the Giants the other day, dude, you win playoff. That's the way you win playoff games. And then if the Eagles can play that way on offense, and then acquire a guy like a Myles Garrett somehow, and this defense gets better and better later in the year, they're scary. They're scary. Whether it's Myles Garrett, whether it's Max Crosby, whether it's a Khalil Mack, whoever it is, a Von Miller pass rush wise, if you get somebody that could come in and be productive, this team is. They could go far. I think they can go and they can compete with the Detroit Lions. I truly believe that. This team has enough talent. They just have to get consistency. They have to accept their identity. Accept your identity on offense. All right? You are what you are. And there's nothing wrong with being that kind of smash-mouth team. There's nothing wrong with it. There'll still be plays to be made. You'll still be throwing the ball a lot. However, when you start the game, maybe you don't go 3 and out every possession. Maybe you score in the first quarter, and maybe you throw more in the second and third and fourth quarters instead of in the first quarter. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Just my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's HOWIE Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. I think what the Saquon Barkley said during the sideline thing with Nick, everybody has seen it. I mean, how can you not love this guy? This guy was a total steal by the Eagles. Saquon Barkley is an absolute stud. And Saquon Barkley, is he the most beloved free agent signing the Eagles have ever had? I mean, T.O. probably is up there #1 when he first came. But Barkley's on his way, man. You've got to love Saquon Barkley and what he means to the Philadelphia Eagles. No question about it. Denzel Washington, out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.